welcome into the Slovenian Lounge here at DNVR HQ as we talk a little Vlatko Cancar, the next step, our preview series, Vlatko Cancar.
The next step for Vlatko, I just got to cut you off. Getting a new picture that we can use instead of just using the same stock photo of him.
I know we need like him to play some games.
He's got to play.
He's got to play so we can get more photos of him. Big Vlatko guy over here. Big Vlatko guy. I'm a big Vlatko guy. Let's pull up his last year's stats. I'm guessing we didn't put games played on here. 1.2 points, 0.8 rebounds, Okay, these numbers don't mean anything. But you want to know what does matter? He was part of the 7.
One game
when
matters.
He was called upon. When his name was called, he was there. He stepped up, and man, did he deliver. One of the best memories of the entire year.
Sneaking up on a triple single there as well. Statistically, I think that might happen this season. No, all jokes aside, that the role he played in the 7 is a role that Vlatko can fill. Yep. I don't think many people are looking at him and saying, okay, that's a guaranteed rotation player, right, throughout his NBA career. But break glass in case of emergency big, a guy that can set a solid screen, a guy that's coachable, and a guy that just wants to help his teammates win games. Sometimes you need your end of the bench guys to be just that. That's what Vlatko is.
Yeah, it's funny. Coming into last year, I had very little idea about what Vlatko's game is.
Sure.
But I think in that 7 game, if he's going to be an NBA player, that's the type of guy he's going to be. Just a screener, a rebounder, a guy who is just going to bang down low, just a guy who's going to make dribble handoffs. That's the type of guy he is.
Yeah, when I think of Vlatko, first off, just saying his name makes me happy. He just sounds like it just feels nice and warm. He's a solid player in every aspect. Like he turned himself into a big brick S house. He's going to set screens with purpose. No one's going to get around Vlatko. No one's going to push him around. Does he get on the court? That's another question. But just having him as sort of the cornerstone to this team, from a cultural standpoint, from a towel waving standpoint, and in the weight room,
in the weight room, yeah. So that's my big question here, guys. Has he grown into a big? I guess we can go to our big question here. The big question here, there it is, but that's honestly, has he grown into maybe even a center, a power? I mean, when he came out, we thought he was a wing, right? When we were doing the scouting on him and the Nuggets picked him.
I would say he's grown into a monster.
You pull up the picture of him, Allie. I mean, the guy's absolutely jacked.
Holy shnikes.
That's a real picture.
It is a real picture without Photoshop. In fact, I think his nickname is Photoshop. You know what I like about this one? Doesn't he look like a lobster? How a lobster has a pincher claw and a crusher claw?
A little bigger on the right side.
It's just a photo. It's just like the lighting.
It looks like he skipped left day.
A little bit more curls to the right. No, but I mean, look at this picture, guys. I mean, this guy is a freaking unit.
I've looked at this picture.
That's a 10 out of 10 body.
I've looked at this picture so many times, and just seeing it now shocked me again.
It is shocking, man. That guy is a freaking beast. But seriously, my question is, he's 6'9", something like that. Could he be a backup center in today's NBA?
Yes, I think so in certain lineups, and I also think that's kind of his goal. I mean, sometimes in second units too, your 4 and your 5 are a little harder to distinguish. It's just like there's a body, there's a big. And I just kind of want to circle back to Wynn's point about what Vlatko's role in the NBA might be. Vlatko knows this, and that is what he's aiming for. And so when I see the weight game, my first thought is that's dope, but my second thought is this intentional? Is he trying to turn himself into a very specific type of player?
Yeah, maybe. I think he's a 4 or 5 for sure. The problem with that is I don't see how he gets on the floor this season at the 4 or the 5 based on who Denver's got at that spot. So it's going to be tough, I think, for him to get playing time.
Yeah, he's a spot start. He's going to come in when the Nuggets need him and provide those minutes that are needed over the course of a long season, and especially a season that's going to be as strange as this one promises to be. But you love having a guy like this that is just can only be described as reliable on the end of your bench.
Can I play devil's advocate here? Because we're making some assumptions based on what we saw of him last year. And then, of course, they brought guys in, JaMychal Green, Paul Millsap's back. But just, is there a chance that he got a lot better? He's still young, that he got a lot better and that he can by the end of the season, work his way into the rotation as a backup 4 or 5?
I think the thing is he was having actually a good season last year in the G League and then had the foot injury and then the shutdown hit and then he really wasn't playing in the bubble because he wasn't 100%. So I just think with those events that have kind of happened, that's tough for me to see him taking like a huge leap from last year to this year. But he is still young. We know he's a worker. So I think he's got potential to get better. Yeah.
I just wonder if, like, we always do make these assumptions on guys like they won't change and he's young. And I'm not saying I'm predicting it. Right. I'm just saying it's at least a possibility I want to put out into the universe because all of this stuff is possible.
I do still think of him, though, as one of the more known quantities on this team. Okay. And there are so many players on Denver that have a world of headroom. And part of playing them is going to be figuring out the strengths and the weaknesses. Whereas Vlatko to me feels a little bit more like we know what we're getting out of this guy. Yeah. And so I have a hard time seeing it unless there are injuries. Because I think even if you're trying to get a little creative and do something unconventional with the rotation, you're looking at Bull first. There's just so many people ahead of him. So
yeah, that's the issue. Is that it's not him.
There's definitely sexier options. Ahead.
I don't think that. I literally don't think there's not a sexier option in the NBA. You chose the one wrong word.
Could have used a lot of words there, but sexy is not one.
Holy shit!
Yeah, let's show you sexy. Let's play a little over under. Let's take a look. Let's look at him this year. And the thing I'm wondering about is just games played. There's 72 games this year. I'm setting the line at 14. I should have put it 14.5, but 14. Yeah. Eric, I'll let you go first. Are you going to go over or under this number?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think I'll probably go. I think that's the exact right number. I think you got it dead on. He'll play 14 games to the number.
Man, I knew I should have gone 14 and a half. This is so annoying.
That just feels like the right amount. Like we're talking about. It's not. The thing about Vlatko is that he's kind of slow. Right, like he can get and him adding all of this weight.
He's a plodder. I describe him as a plodder.
He will plod along. Like he certainly got bigger, which is not going to improve his speed any. And this Nuggets squad moving forward promises to be sort of an up-tempo team, like with the pieces they added. So I think that Vlatko will be put in case of emergency, and I'm hoping we don't have that many.
Can he be the enforcer, Vlad the Impaler?
Yes, absolutely. Except for the problem is he's too nice.
He does seem like a nice guy.
I know.
He is a sweetheart. I'm going over. I just think if we're talking about the last guy on Denver's bench, I think he plays more than 14 games this year. Maybe that's Vlatko. Maybe that's RJ Hampton. I just think with how the season's going to go, the uncertainty, Denver's going to need their bench more than ever. And there's going to be a lot of load management. Guys aren't going to play heavy minutes. He's going to get in there. I don't know how much he's going to play, but he's definitely going to play 14
it's over 14, according to you.
Well, I'll tell you what. I know I set the line at 14. That's how many games he played last year. So there's fewer games this year. I mean, there's only 72.
Fewer games, but I think Wynn's right. I think there's more room for experimenting and I think or load management. And I think either one results in some games.
Yeah. All right, well, I'll go over 2, but I don't feel that confident. I don't think he's going to play a ton of minutes. I think it will be like last year, but with you guys between garbage time and between some of the load management, I do think he gets in there. But, again, probably an end-of-the-bench guy once again. Now we're going to welcome in the homie Miroslav for a little Serbian Corner.
Oh, boy, with the appropriate spelling, I must say.
No, it ain't appropriate spelling. Miroslav, how are you, my friend?
Very good, very good. How about you guys?
We're doing great. Nuggets season, right? I'm answer for all of us, if you don't mind.
We're feeling quite homey, I would say, here in our set.
We are feeling homey, and we're talking today about Vlatko Cancar. And you're the only person I know that could give us insight on this, because I don't know if Vlatko's going to play a lot this year. In fact, if I were to bet, I would bet he doesn't play a whole lot. I don't know where he would slot in. But what do you think, the value is for him being on the team with Jokic?
Yeah, well, Jokic is very big about family, and I think he feels of Vlatko like his younger brother. Jokic has his 2 older brothers, and he was the guy that was always bringing water and towels when they were training or playing games or something like that.
Do you think he really did that? brought him towels?
Oh, I am absolutely sure he did that. I have no inside information, so this is based on nothing, as usual.
Clear, are you saying
but
Jokic
this is what
like,
younger brothers do in Serbia?
Yeah, are you saying that Jokic like tackles Vlatko and like puts him in headlocks and
throws
stuff?
knives at him?
Is he treated in the same way that he was as a younger brother?
Yeah. I don't think they give him knives, because they're basketball professionals. So that's not, what you're supposed to do. But yeah, headlocking, why not? So Vlatko is a guy that has, a tape recorder with Mitar Miric cassette inside, so he can put on the Ne može nam niko ništa song when the situation is bright. And he's the guy that is in Nikola's ear when things go wrong. He can say some really ugly things to him to motivate him to be better. So I think Vlatko's position in the team is really important. And I have to add one thing: Vlatko is a really, really solid basketball player. In case Nuggets need him to be on the court,
right,
he will be a very good player for them.
Yeah,
it's not just a mascot. He's a really good basketball player.
Yeah, so even just the language thing, I mean, I think it's, you know this because your English is phenomenal, but if you're speaking in a second language for long periods of time, days even, it could be exhausting, and maybe it's nice just to have a native tongue. I mean, do you think that plays a part in it, just that aspect?
Oh yeah, I completely agree with that, because I've been abroad for prolonged periods of time, like 2-3 weeks consecutively, and it's really tiring. You really want to hear somebody in your native tongue just to relax, just to be completely off pressure, because you need to be abroad for a very long time to completely think in the other language. I think Nikola is pretty close now, if not all the way there now. But for the first couple of seasons, for sure, it was tiring. Absolutely, I agree with that take.
Is there anything else we need to know about Vlatko this season?
Well, if Vlatko needs to make a block for a guy, he will make the best possible block out there. On the court, he is a solid 3-point shooter. I really wish we will see him, and I think we will, because in those 72 games, very condensed schedule, there will be some days when like 4 guys are not available for any reason, and we will see Vlatko, and we will see that he is a really good player, probably better player than last year when we saw him in magnificent 7th game.
He's obviously bigger. What do European players ever? It's always an American thing. That's what even Campazzo, when he came over, he said the one thing is like, I got to get thinner because I got to in the NBA they care about their bodies more. Look at Vlatko. He comes over to America, immediately gains like 60 pounds of adrenaline and muscle.
Well, he does have a lot of time. So he's putting it into good use. So.
Well, he's also Jokic's weightlifting partner, right? Yeah. That's how you get yoked, man. You got to motivate the big fella.
Yeah, you get Jokic yoked. I was going to ask if it was just more of a Central European thing. Like, could you? Would it be possible? Can you take your shirt off and we just say if it's something that anybody is able to achieve in that part of the world, or is it just specifically Vlatko?
You didn't put 18 plus in front of the show, so it's an honor.
Little known fact: Vlatko Cancar's dad, a competitor on World's Strongest Man.
What? Wow!
That makes.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, God!
I was so ready to buy in. I was gonna Google it.
All right, Miroslav, thank you so much for providing some insight on Vlatko. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Stay safe in Serbia, brother. Wrapping it up, guys. Bold predictions. Ooh. Bold predictions. We're going to get so bold here. So bold.
All right, guys.
Harris, vote?
Close. Vlatko, after a short off season, he's going to look in the mirror and think, you know what? This is a little too much. I am a little too strong and a little too jacked. I'm not feeling super mobile. Team's trying to get a little faster. I feel a little too plotty, if you will.
No.
Just plodding along.
He's got the plotty body.
Because you know what? I got to drop some muscle in.
Just keep
And
the
do you know
photo
why
up.
this is a bold take? Because I don't believe it at all.
Yeah, there's no way. I was gonna say. I think it's like you get one tattoo, you want to keep getting tattoos.
Can I just say? Can
I
we
think
bring that
once you
photo-
start bodybuilding, you just don't stop.
But you get that
bring
ninth
that photo
ab,
up
the
one more
10th
time.
one.
The greatest part about this is that there's a green hue over it. He's very Hulk-like.
Oh, he is
true.
very
Yeah, that's a good
Hulk-like.
point,
You're
yeah.
right.
He found the
Green Hulk.
exact right lighting in the bubble for that photo to happen.
All right, who's up next? Is it me? I think it is
I think
me.
it's always you. Yeah.
It's always me. Okay.
Same
You
order as
again.
the other
You
ones.
again.
So this is a happy one, guys, and I honestly believe this. If I could put $100 on this thing, I would. Vlatko will be a part of this year's equivalent of the 7. We're gonna have another one. Murray's
The
out. I'm just saying we're gonna have one of these games where it's like, they put the Lakers on the road in a back-to-back, and everybody's hurt. And Vlatko's gonna go in there. He's gonna win it. He's gonna help him win it, guys. He's-
How hot is that if he was part of the 7 the first time?
Well, to do it again is
All right,
really
fair enough, fair
that's bold. It's bold. It's bold. All right, Harrison.
All right. This is just I'm thinking with my heart, maybe not my head here. Vlatko signs an extension. I think this
That makes me
could
happy.
be. I think this could be like a little bit of a make it or break it year for him. To be honest,
Okay.
like if he doesn't prove he's an NBA player, the Nuggets might just need that roster
They might
spot
need it,
next
yeah.
season
Oh.
for a Greg Whittington maybe. They just might need that. But deep down, I think Denver wants to keep him around. He's Jokic's buddy. He's a great locker room guy. He's great for the culture. So I think it could be a make it or break it year for him.
You lose Wancho and then you lose Vlatko. You know what I mean? There's some approximation there.
All right, my bold take. We'll see you in hell, Robert Sacre. See you later, young Malik Beasley. He will become the preeminent towel waver in the NBA.
Roberts.
He was good. He was good. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Robert Sacre is like playing over in Greece. What I do?
We're gonna see him wave a towel with such ferocity. The speed at which he'll whip it around on the bench. It's gonna propel the Nuggets to new heights, and I can't wait to see it.
The look Vlatko has shown off in training camp here, elite.
Headband
The
Vlatko.
long
Oh,
hair
I
with
know.
the headbands,
Long hair, head. Dude,
with like a little. I don't even know what's going on with the mustache, but there's something there. I love it.
we know
Absolutely
That's how you
elite.
know we're all saps because, like you just said, Vlatko gets an extension. I'm like, yeah. Will he play? No. We gotta
Someone's
lock
gotta
him
be
up.
that 12th man.
All right, that does it, guys, for the free portion of the Vlatko Cancar episode. But don't worry, there is more for DNVR subscribers. Again, you can go to thednvr.com, become a member for just $5 a month,
Do it.
and you get access to all of our premium content, which includes in this episode a conversation with George Karl, some inside sources, some wind chimes from our friend Wind, and then of course the fan vote, the irrational fan vote. You don't want to miss
You know
it.
what else you get? A shirt. A shirt.
Oh, you do get a shirt. Look at that. All right.